This is an Evergreen Media Network studio production.
Broadcasting from the Evergreen Media Network studios in Vero Beach, Florida. It's Huntin' with Heather.
Hey y'all, welcome to Huntin' with Heather. I am your host, Heather Hawk. This is season 1, episode 11. Thank you guys for coming in to listen to another show, and if this is your first time, welcome. This show is dedicated to all those who love to hunt, love the outdoors, and those who want to learn more. Whether you're a seasoned hunter or a green hunter, this show is going to be packed full of information. We're going to talk deer, turkey, and everything in between. And of course, you can't forget about those stories that keep us coming back for more. So grab a seat, sit back, and let's talk hunting. So my guests today, I am so excited to have them on. They are from Okeechobee, Florida, y'all. And it's from, they own Skull Hill Archery, and I hope I was going to get their names messed up because I was combining their names the other day, but it's Brandon and Cindy Baughman.
Yep.
So welcome, you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Glad
So thank you guys for coming over to Vero, and I really want to get into you guys' shop.
Okay.
I am a huge fan of y'all's shop. I use you guys personally from the moment I've been in there a couple years ago. You guys have it's always been a welcome, whether it's greeted from y'all's dog. That's the shop, y'all. Like, it's just such a friendly shop. Everyone's like, hey, have a seat, and it makes you feel very welcome, especially if I've gone in there by myself. I'm newer. I mean, I've hunted archery for years, but my bow was already set up, and so it was just nice. You guys are very easy to go in, and especially if you're newer to it.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's the whole thing. We just like everyone to kind of feel like they're at home when they come into the shop.
And it's definitely. I mean, there's like lazy boy chair. I mean, the shop is beautiful. By the way, it's a gorgeous, beautiful shop, and it is definitely. It's a welcoming feeling, so I like it. That
was definitely what we were shooting for, was something like, everyone can kind of, when they come in there, because honestly, we're just a mom and pop shop, we have great dreams, but really, I mean, it's me and my wife, and we got my buddy Shane and Tom, and now we've hired on Vinny. Had a buddy of mine that kind of helped me on the side named Fred, and we've, through the course of the years, have just kind of gone through what we can. So it's not like we're like a giant outfit. So we try to make it as comfortable as you can, so when you come in and there's like 5 people ahead of you, you can just kind of mill around and be comfortable, And
it's definitely that. Yeah. It's definitely that, because I've had to wait a little bit, but not. You just kind of look around, and people are talking to other people, and it's such a nice family atmosphere.
There you go.
Which is great.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, so can you tell me a little bit? I want to know a little bit how you guys got started.
Okay.
And how Skull Hill Archery came about.
Yeah, I mean, so I went, first of all, graduated high school, didn't really have an idea of what to do, so I went to Motorcycle Mechanic Institute, and I graduated top of my class in Harley and whatnot, and opened up my Skull Hill Steel motorcycle shop. And the dream was to build bikes, and after OCC tanked and everyone just quit doing stuff, I went to working on them. And then about 5 years of that, it was tough. Like, you give A grade quality work and hardly get paid for it.
Right.
Now, the people that I did work for, I'm not talking about them, I'm just talking about just in general. They came to me because they were getting a deal because they didn't have to go to Harley to get it,
Sure.
So it was kind of that mentality. And then I got into bow fishing, and bow fishing kind of spurred that, just getting into archery. Used to fish all the time, so I loved to bow fish, and got big into that. And then a buddy of mine's like, hey man, you love bow fishing so much, why don't you, actually it was my uncle, I'm sorry, my uncle said, hey, why don't you hunt? It's not my thing, I do fish. And he goes, all right, well, you need to try it. So I bought like a bow online, like $80, put it all together, shot my first deer, got hooked. It's a 3-point.
That's it. That's all it takes.
That's it. One arrow and it's done,
Yes.
So then it was like a driving passion at that point still. So, so all this being said, leading into it, a buddy of mine came in and said, hey man, you did a pretty good job on your bow. Why don't you work on mine? And I'm like, okay, all right, you know. So I put his together. Well, he's like, man, this never shot as good. And, you know, I'm like, look, man, I just did my research on YouTube, pray to God to give me wisdom kind of thing. Because I've also learned this all stuff by the cuff. So it's not like you go to a school for it. They do have some schools now. But back when I started, it wasn't anything out there, you know. And so you learn from YouTube and Hard Knocks, you know, blew up a couple bows, learned how not to.
Yeah, for sure.
And so anyway, so as I was going through that, I would never touch anyone's bow until I was confident enough to be on my own, in and out. And so I did his, and then he had a buddy and did his. And so instead working on bikes during the day and doing archery in the afternoons kind of thing as a side job. And that side job grew from the back little paint booth that we had. So I made it like a little archery shop.
Oh yeah.
Then I moved into a step where my grandfather owns the building we're in now. I took a little corner, and it grew from there to the front. I was paying rent to him. And then I took the next section through the course of the years, and the next section until it just grew to what it was.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, it was really cool. I mean, it just, word of mouth's been the biggest thing. I really haven't done a lot of heavy advertising.
Right.
And through the course of all this, as it was growing, you know, life does what it does. But then God blessed me with Cynthia, and she has helped me turn what I just couldn't do all on my own, and she's really kind of funneled a lot of that
dream become reality. More
she really
so.
has.
That's awesome. Yeah,
I can.
I mean, we both have this understanding. It's not anything we've done; it's God through us. He's the one that we wouldn't be able to do, nor would I have the knowledge or the ability to know what I know without His understanding. And then her coming into my life, just being able to kind of usher that and everything. Man, it's been awesome.
Yes,
sure has.
That's awesome.
But that's how we got the name. So Skull Hill.
Yes.
Skull Hill Steel is what I named the motorcycle shop.
Right.
Which Skull Hill is Golgotha, which Christ was crucified on, is a place of the skull. So it was Skull Hill Steel, and then you really couldn't do Skull Hill Steel Archery because it's just too long. Right. So, and steel doesn't apply.
And a little confusing with the steel and the archery.
Absolutely. So we dropped.
I love it.
Drop steel, put archery, and that's where it's at. So.
And I love it because a lot of y'all's hats and your shirts and stuff have the cross on it, and I've loved that from the beginning. I was like showing my mom. I'm like, look, I love what they stand for.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And so with that real quick, and this is kind of, I know this will be kind of a I don't know if it's a sensitive subject, but Doc, was it Doc?
Yeah.
He passed away during COVID. And the nicest, oh my gosh, the most he was the first person I met there.
Yeah.
And he was like, you know, I was coming in. He just was the most genuine person, and he loved the Lord.
Yes,
like,
he did.
You just knew it. He didn't even have to like necessarily talk. There was just this presence about him. And so I'm really sorry. Like, and you guys do a shoot.
We do every December we do a shoot. We just did this one this past year. It's the third annual one, and just keeping his memory alive.
Absolutely.
You know, he loved archery, and he loved God, and he loved helping people. People would come into the store and they wouldn't have anything. Like they wanted to learn archery but didn't have nothing. He'd give them his arrows, give him the release, give him a bow. You know, I mean, the guy just like, it's yours. I just want to, you know, he wants to amplify Christ through archery. That was his dream. That's what he wanted to do.
Well, he definitely did it.
Absolutely,
he definitely did it.
And that's what the tournament, the memorial tournament, was for. Is to just keep that memory alive. We have the Doc Fund, so all that money that we make from that tournament, we end up putting into a Doc Fund. So when kids or, you know, someone who's really needing it come in, and if they need a site and they don't got it and they just can't afford it, we'll take that money out.
He would be like,
exactly.
Here, let me do this, you know? So, okay, so you guys have kids. I know you guys have a combined kids or combined family. Do they like to shoot? They like the kids, or like
a couple of them?
Yeah, a couple of them do.
Okay.
They've all shot. Just some of them like it more than others.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I don't want to push them. You know, it's like you want to be. They will only enjoy it as if they want to.
That's right.
You know, so they all have a good time when they're doing it, but they'll enjoy it way more.
I love it. Yeah, there she is.
Yeah.
Now, which one's that?
That's Ashlyn.
That's Ashlyn.
Does she like it?
She wants to go bow fishing with me. She told me she would pick archery back up if we went bow fishing.
Yeah.
So
that's one thing I've not done is bow fishing.
Man,
I definitely want to do that.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's like she's just now getting into hunting, but she loves bow fishing. Like if you get into that, that's like crack of archery.
Yes.
I don't have another way of putting it. It's addictive because you're constantly shooting. So you like to shoot, and you like to shoot stuff, and then you got fish all the time, like tilapia. I mean, one night we filled up 3 50-gallon trash cans full of tilapia.
And what a great way to like like really practice, right? I mean, just
in one way, what you're
right?
doing,
Or-
you're practicing your execution and you're building up muscles because basically it's a workout.
Yeah.
It's not. Sometimes you can run a pin, sometimes you don't. Sometimes people
Okay.
just instinctively shoot.
Right.
But you are working out those muscles and being able. If you run fingers, you're not. But if you run a release, like I'm weird in the bow fishing world, I
Right.
like a release. A lot of
I
guys
love-
like to
yeah.
finger and just
Oh,
send
they
it,
do.
and
Okay.
it's just quick. It's a quicker way
Right.
of doing it. But I like a release.
Yeah.
So it just anything that I do, I'm trying to make sure that no matter if I'm playing or I'm hunting, I want everything to be systematic and not deviate. So I take a release.
Right.
I execute the same way on a bow fit on a
It's
fish.
just, I think it's like, is it that memory? Just that way you are constantly have that memory. Now, do you use a release?
I go back and forth.
You do. Okay.
When I
But
get
it seems
tired
to
of
work.
it does. When I get sick of using a release, I start using my fingers, and my fingers get tired. I go back to my release.
So you got your first kill with you got a hog, right?
Got a hog.
Awesome. How was that?
Oh my goodness. It
Right?
was a lot different than shooting the 3D targets.
100%. Yeah.
I went out there, my heart was pounding. The kids are behind me, so I'm like, they're watching. I can't mess this up.
Oh my.
So there was some pressure, but it was good.
Oh, for sure. Hey, listen, I was out at we were talking about Starvation Slough. My first time drawing on I've been archery hunting for a little while, but it was my first time with a buck.
Wow.
And I'm sitting in a chair. And he comes out, and I literally thought my bow was broke. And my husband, he's like, "It's not broke," and I'm like, "I can't pull it back." And he's like, "It's not broke. It's not broken." And I'm like, "I cannot pull this back." So I didn't take account that all the flood of adrenaline. I'm sitting in a chair. I mean, I had practice kind of in a chair, but it's just a totally different ballpark when you've got the animal right in front of you.
Buck fever's a real thing, man.
And buck fever. And, all the things are playing out. And so anyhow, he was like, breathe, just stop, calm down. And I did. Now, I didn't get a shot, but it still was a great lesson learned, because going forward now, because I've had it like multiple times, I don't care who you are, if you don't have that feeling when you're hunting and you don't have that adrenaline, you shouldn't be hunting. You should not be hunting if you don't have that feeling when you see an animal, because it just comes over you. And that's what makes it really exciting. But yeah, so it was a great lesson learned.
Oh yeah,
It was on shot placement, especially because we did the hog, and I'm like, I think this is where I need to hit, and then I second guessed myself, and I went further back, and it wasn't the perfect shot I was looking for, and I did the same thing on my longhorn, but it was good. It went down, and the kids were
you got
excited.
'em.
yeah.
And you're able to harvest them.
I'm proud of her because she's.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, that's so
That's
cool.
it. That's
Yeah,
the
it's cool.
Longhorn.
Yeah.
So they had this place is called Black Boar Ranch, and they had some animals they wanted to go, and so I wanted to use this animal because we're going to use the hide as our tabletop for the house. We got the
yeah.
meat, all these kids, I mean, it's not cheap,
Right.
And the horns we're going to Euro mount it for and everything, but it was a really good animal to test certain equipment on, especially at her draw length and her poundage, and she done 4 shots, but she'd have killed it in her second one. Her second one was actually right through the heart where it was supposed to be, had plenty of penetration all the way through and inside the other side of the cavity. But anyways, she did very, very well. So for such a size of an animal, I was super stoked and proud for her.
And was that your second? Did you get the hog first?
The hog was first, which I'm kind of glad, because that took some of the nerves down.
Yep.
And then we did the longhorn.
Right.
So the next is going to be a couple small animals. We're going to work back up to a buffalo.
Yeah, that's her goal is a buffalo.
You go, girl. That's what I'm
horse.
talking about. Oh, there you go. See, you've been practicing.
So yeah. Now that's a pretty cool thing to talk about because this is a total archery challenge up in Pennsylvania.
Oh,
And,
awesome.
And this shot, she doesn't have. That was like 110 yards.
Yeah.
She doesn't have a pin
Yeah.
for that. So you see up here where the clouds are. I told her to aim her pin
He's
up
like, you
around
see
that
those
cloud.
clouds? Aim above it.
That and then she nailed it. Those the 12 rings like right here, and she had perfect height. So it was awesome.
He's a great teacher.
That is awesome.
It was great.
That's awesome. Well,
was
we're going to
great.
talk more about that. Let's go to a quick break, and y'all stay with us.
Paris Family Chiropractic understands after a long day in the woods, tracking and hunting, your back might be crying out louder than a call to the wild. Paris Family Chiropractic specializes in back, neck, and shoulder pain relief, carpal tunnel, disc injury treatment, headaches and migraines, sciatica treatment, and so much more. Get back to your prime hunting form. Visit ParisFamilyChiro.com and schedule your appointment today. Paris Family Chiropractic, Vero Beach.
At Sunshine Furniture, our 35,000 square foot showroom is filled with the largest selection of in-stock coastal furniture on the Treasure Coast. Dining and bedroom sets, occasional tables, sofas, sleeper sofas, love seats and chairs, including lots of slipcover styles from Universal Upholstery, Four Seasons, and Capri. We also have a gallery of Tommy Bahama and Lexington furniture designed for a relaxed approach to the finer things in life. And right now, all pictures, lamps, and accessories are half price. Sunshine Furniture, $12.95 US 1 in Vero Beach next to Planet Fitness. Visit our website at sunshinefurniturecasual.com and also visit our outlet and closeout store directly across the street.
Sunshine Furniture, the best in every way. Have a sunshine day. Sunshine Furniture, stop on in today and have a sunshine day.
Hop on over to the biggest frog leg festival in the world, the Fellsmere Frog Leg Festival, January 18th through the 21st. Enjoy mouth-watering frog leg and gator tail dishes, browse hundreds of booths for unique gifts, listen to great music, and enjoy fun carnival rides galore. Discover why the Fellsmere Frog Leg Festival is a January tradition. Admission and parking are free. Marine Bank presents the Fellsmere Frog Leg Festival. It gets hoppin' January 18th through the 21st. Details at froglegfestival.com.
Welcome back to Hunting with Heather. I am sitting here today with Skull Hill Archery, Brandon and Cindy, and we're going to continue. I want to talk to Brandon. I want to talk to you a little bit about if someone wants to get into archery shooting, archery hunting, whatever it is that they be. I mean, when I come into your shop, are you going to, like, what are we going to do? I've already had my bow, so but if I'm going to come in, you know.
We would, I mean, top to bottom. We're going to make sure that you're 100% before you leave us. But basically, while it goes down, we'll sit there and we'll measure you. Make sure your draw length, find that out. Kind of get an idea what kind of poundage you're going to run, because that's a lot of things. Some people end up getting too much poundage and not enough poundage. So basically, we'll take and we'll kind of see what you're trying to do, like what you're going after. You know, if you're like, hey, I'm hunting. I'm going to be target shooting, as in shooting a bale in my house, target shooting, not 3D stuff. Like, I'm going to practice on a target and then I'm going to go hunt. Then we're going to gear you up for a bow that's more fitting for hunting. Right. Something a little bit more power, something a little bit more, give you a little more speed, so you can take that decently weighted arrow and put a good velocity on it, so you can get good penetration. Okay. You know, that kind of thing. Or I'm target shooting. I'm going after the 3D circuit. I want to do field shooting. We're just going to fill out and figure out which direction you're wanting to go. Okay. Then we kind of get a couple bows that kind of what would fit you. Set them up and let you shoot them until you figure out which one you kind of like, what kind of draw cycle you like, what kind of feels in your hand, what kind of bow really kind of fits you. And then once we figured that part out, then we go into actually setting it up, which would then putting your rest on, putting your sight on. And that's not just slapping it on, that's putting it on, leveling it, making sure your cams are timed, go back, shoot it through paper, making sure the arrow's coming out correctly, setting it up to where the bow is 100%. Right. You know? Then we'll take you and fit everything. Make sure your draw lengths fit, all that, and then we'll take you into the 20-yard range and make sure before you leave us, you're at least hitting 20 yards, so that you know that everything is on to take it home. That's pretty accurate. Now,
you guys have the 20-yard ranges inside the shop. Correct. And then he just showed.
Yeah, that last picture showed the 3D range.
The 3D range in the back.
Yes. So yeah, you can see there.
Super cool.
But buddy Paul, it's a 160-foot building long, and it's 50-foot wide, and we run 3Ds all the way from 5 yards all the way back to 50.
Nice. Yeah. So now, are you guys still doing shoots
every Thursday night?
Every Thursday night. That's what I thought.
Yep. Every Thursday night, starting at 7 o'clock. Normally we get around 9:30. So yeah,
if you're in the area of Okeechobee or in the surrounding area, go check them out. Yeah, man. I mean, why not? Why not like get better at hunting, practice, or if you want to do shoots.
Yeah, and what's really cool is that the Thursday night tournament stuff, it'll kind of give you that pressure. It's not emulating exactly like what an animal is, but it does give you that I need to do well kind of shot. Yes. And that'll also make you better.
Yeah.
And everybody that's there is very encouraging to each other.
Yeah.
Like the ones, the normal ones, they'll pick on each other.
They're competitive.
But yeah,
right,
the newbies, they don't sit there and trash talk them. They just kind of let them, and if they need help, they help them out.
Yeah.
Which
That's
we always
great.
appreciate that.
So I have to say, and we're going to talk about the shoot that's coming up.
Yep.
And but if you've never done a shoot, I encourage you, if you're hunting or archery, and you're into archery shooting or whatever, and you maybe just do it in your backyard, or you're into archery hunting, I recommend going to do a shoot. I've done several of them. I was very nervous the first time I did it, and so let's talk a little bit about.
Yeah. So what's coming up on the 19th, 20th, and 21st is the Florida Archery Unleashed. It's a 50 target tournament. So I mean, when I say 50 targets, it's not just run of the mill deer hog. And we're talking. I've got a grizzly bear. We've got a moose. We've got
a gator.
We got a 12-foot crocodile. We got
Awesome.
alligators. We got
That's so exciting.
We got a zombie. We got dinosaurs. I mean, everything you can think of, we have it out there. But the cool thing about this tournament, it's kind of like it's more or less a fun shoot. You can be just as much tournament or competitive as you want to just have a good time. There's going to be 3 stakes. It's going to be a beginner stake, an intermediate stake, and an expert stake.
Yep.
Your beginner stake is going to be 25 yards and under. Your intermediate is going to be 50 yards and under, and your expert stake is going to be all the way out to 110.
There it is, yeah.
Yep.
So if we want to join, we still have time, right? If someone wants to do the shoot, we still have time. It's going to be the 19th, 20th, and 21st, right? All days. It's
all
50,
days. Yep.
so you can break it up, or
that's the reason why we have it. It's not like you at your leisure complete the targets how you want. Some people take all 3 days. Some people punch it out in one day. It's completely you.
Right. That's awesome. Yeah. I love it. I love it. So check them out. Go to Skull Hill Archery, or what was it?
Florida Archery Unleashed.
Florida Archery Unleashed. And hey, listen, just go get out in the woods, man. Just get out there and enjoy it. Thank you guys for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, so exciting. And you guys have a great day. Be well, be good. Go do something great. Love y'all.